This program is sponsored by Able Ideas, Greco Printing and Imaging, Comics Wellspring, Grand River Ballroom, and Shorty Bell's Pizza.
Everybody, welcome to Comics, Beer, and Sci-Fi. Can you believe we're in Season 5?
Season 5, and what a lot of you may not be aware of is that we started actually 9 years ago with a YouTube channel, and here we are, our 5th season on TV.
Can you believe it?
I can't.
I'm excited.
Me too.
This season, we're going to freshen up the format, switch it up, and we're going to focus on our favorite Comic-Con events.
In this episode, we're going to spotlight Motor City Comic Con. So let's get things started with one of our most recent interviews with legendary rapper Daryl McDaniels of Run DMC, interviewed by our very own comic book Casey.
It's McDaniels, not McDonald's. All right, so why don't you tell us, how did you get into the comic book business? What was your inspiration for comic books?
Before hip-hop came over from the Bronx into Queens 50 years ago, before 60s and 70s rock radio, all I did as a kid was read, collect, and draw comic books. Comic books was the only place I saw geeky, nerdy, awkward, clumsy, confused individuals trying to figure out their place in this world who were super bad was in the comic books. I could relate to Bruce Wayne. I could relate to Peter Parker. I could relate to Steve Rogers. I could relate to Tony Starks. I never wanted to be in the entertainment business. But when I first heard hip-hop, I was like, oh, shoot. You could tell stories about who you are over music, just like the people that write the comic books do. And about 9 years ago, I went to a music meeting, and I met with this individual named Riggs Morales, who was Eminem's, big shout out to Eminem, one of Detroit's finest. He was Eminem's A&R over at Shady Records, so he's now up at Warner Atlantic in New York, and I had some music stuff I was helping with a friend, and when I went to sit down with him, we didn't even talk about music. He just asked me, D, what was it like when you was a kid? And I was like, well, I used to read, collect, and draw comic books. He was like, me too. And we sat there for 3 hours, we talked about comic books, and he said, you should do a comic book. But the real thing that made me do the book was, he said, D, and besides, you could do the very same thing you've been doing with your music for the last 30 years. And I was like, what's that? Inspire, motivate, educate while you entertain people. He said, D, it's going to be the same thing you was doing with your records, except the music's going to be off. Comic books is my first love. The Easter eggs has always been there, Casey. Crash through walls, come through floors, bust through ceilings, and knock down doors. I'm DJ Run, I could scratch. I didn't say I'm DMC could rap. I said, I'm DMC, I could draw.
There you go.
DMC in a place to be. Daryl makes comics just like Stan Lee. Like Peter Parker, I come from Queens, and like T'Challa, I am a king. The king of rock, that is.
Thank you, Casey. Very interesting. I'm going to have to check out one of Daryl's comic books.
Yeah, I love seeing hip-hop and comic book culture combined. It's amazing.
You know, another culture that combines is wrestling and geek culture. We're seeing a lot of wrestlers at these conventions. And so why don't we show you our interview with legendary Mick Foley. You know, he started his career in 1983.
Nope.
Were you alive in 1983?
Nope.
Hey, this is Mark at the Motor City Comic Con. I'm here with wrestling legend Mick Foley. How you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing great, and I'm having a great time here, right here, at Motor City Comic Con.
So when you got started wrestling, it was back in the 80s. What was wrestling like for you back then?
Well, it's changed quite a bit, but it had changed, by the 80s, it had changed quite a bit from what people had grown up on. So it's constantly changing. But one thing that does not seem to be changing is that the fans have an appreciation for hard work. And I'm so happy to say that a lot of the children I meet at these cons were not even born when I was doing my thing in WWE.
So you're primarily known for three main characters: Cactus Jack, Mankind, and Dude Love. Now, when you get fans coming up to you, can you tell what kind of fans, which one of those characters they're big fans of?
Well, unless they specifically have a Dude Love shirt on or are giving off a flower power type of vibe, I jump to the assumption, even though I know that's dangerous to do, that they're going to like Mankind the most, which is why I bring the Mankind mask and we throw in the bonus photo. So you not only get a photo with me, but of one of the characters.
So Mankind was probably your most popular character.
My checkbook says so.
It seemed like it'd be the most fun.
It was a lot of fun, especially the stuff I did with Dwayne Johnson. When I say my checkbook, I mean my biggest matches in WWE were as Mankind.
What was your favorite matches you've had?
Well, we're coming up on anniversary of one of the matches I had, Dude Love and Stone Cold Steve Austin. That was May 31st, 1998, so we're celebrating 25 years. And June 28th, 2023, we'll be celebrating the 25th anniversary of The Cell. So those are two of my favorites, and it's cool that we have anniversaries that coincide with them.
Do you ever show up at the latest events for the wrestling competitions or anything like that? Do you still show up?
The last time I went to an event was when I was asked by Stacy Keibler to induct her into the WWE Hall of Fame. That was a lot of fun. Prior to that, I had gone to a SmackDown event for The Undertaker's retirement. So I've made, I think, 3 WWE appearances in the last 4 years, but you can catch me every Sunday night as one of the hosts of WWE's Most Wanted Treasures on A&E, and that's a lot of fun, and it's been very gratifying.
Well, we don't want to take up too much of your time, Mick. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, Mark. And, we're going to be spotlighting a lot of wrestlers this season in various interviews, so that's something for us to look forward to.
Yeah, I'm excited. Well, up next, we are with our gamer girl, Samantha.
Hi guys, this is Samantha with Comics Beer and Sci-Fi, and I am here with Patrick, and he is with SKG Retro Gaming. So Patrick, tell me what you got going on here. I see a couple very, very small consoles. What are they for?
They're multi-system retro boxes. Plugs right into your TV, HDMI, everything built in and ready to play. 20 different game systems, more than 7,000.
Oh my gosh, I am in love. I have been dying to play on the Game Boy Advance to play Pokemon. Is there any monthly payments or anything?
This isn't a service, it's a device. You take the device home, you plug it in, you're ready to go. All you need is a television. I give you everything else.
What a deal.
Including an instruction manual plus my phone number and email, so I'm always available for support.
What made you come up with this idea of packing all these games in the tiny little system? I mean, that's a great idea.
Several years ago, I got frustrated because I couldn't buy one of the NES classics that were coming out, but I have the technical skills to build my own. So I did it, and then people started asking to buy it. Next thing you know, I'm in business.
I praise you. That's so cool. All right, guys, it's been Samantha with Comics Beer and Sci-Fi. I'm going to play some games.
Ladies.
Hi, and here's Samantha in person. Okay. I'm excited to tell you guys that she's joining us for co-hosting this season.
I'm excited too. Oh, that's right. Up next is Chef Q.
Welcome back to Cosplay Cooking with Q. I'm here with Chef Kyle, who's the executive chef of Beer Exchange and Shorty Bell's Pizza. We're here today to cook some Halo-inspired dishes, but Chef Kyle, how's it going today?
Another day in paradise, my man. Excited to cook with you today.
So, where is my assistant with all of the ingredients?
What?
Oh, happens all the time. Where did you come from?
Just took a portal the year 2525 and took stuff.
Well, that's new. So we're going to do 2 dishes today. We're going to do a hot dog dinner, and then we're going to do a grilled mega shrimp, which is straight out of the book as well.
So, you know, while I got these hot dogs on the grill, I guess I can run you guys through a little bit of what I did ahead of time. Since I knew Chef Q was coming through, I had made some pickles up because those take time, as we all know. Very simple pickle recipe here. We got some fresh dill, vinegar, of course, water, sugar, a little bit of sweetness to these guys, peppercorn, mustard seed, salt, of course. We also made ourselves a nice little remoulade here. We have mayonnaise base, some yogurt as well, kind of give a little more creaminess to it. Diced up capers, shallots, and pickles that I stole from earlier. I have these onions we fried up and fried up in some oil. Now, we cheated a little bit because we do have industrial fryers here, but you can do it at home very easily in a pan with some oil. I'm a char guy myself, so we're gonna cook these a little well done. We gotta make sure, rotate. We want these things to cook evenly. Now, I had an old chef who hated when I would bring my plate to the food. You bring the food to the plate, apparently. You do what you want to do. It's your house. So this is the level of char I personally like. You know, feel free to do it to your liking. So now we're going to take this remoulade that we made, and we are just going to put a nice little portion on there. It's really good. I made it, so, you know. And remember, kids, ketchup doesn't go on hot dogs. Remoulade, that's fine. We're gonna take our onions that we fried up here. I like onions too, so I'm gonna go a little heavy, but like I said, you gotta do you. We're gonna top it with some pickles, add some more levels of flavor to these. Hot dogs don't have to be simple. All right, Chef, what do you think?
These look phenomenal. So I'm here doing the Grill Mega Shrimp. Sounds like a Power Ranger thing, but so I'm actually going to take these limes and I'm going to slit them face down on the grill. I've been marinating this shrimp for about 35 to 40 minutes. It's just basically fish oil, tamarind paste, palm sugar, garlic, and lime juice. If you don't have any of those things, because those things do sound very fancy, you can just use balsamic vinegar to replace the tamarind paste. You can use soy sesame oil to replace the fish oil, and you can use brown sugar to replace the palm sugar. Instead of Thai chilies, you can use beaver chili. Same thing. And in order to get a little bit more flavor, a little bit more juice, we just gotta, there we go. Don't try this at home. I've been doing this for a while now. We're gonna flip our shrimp here. Now keep in mind the shrimp, it's not gonna take that long to cook. 5 to 10 minutes, not even. And make sure you soak your wood skewers for 30 to 45 minutes. That way, as you can see, they absorb the moisture and they're not burning. That's why they're not burning. See all that caramelization and all the juice coming out? It's gonna absorb that smoky flavor and give you something great to go on this shrimp. All right, so as they always say, you eat with your eyes and not with your mouth. So we're gonna take these 2 limes and just sit them here for some presentation purposes. We're gonna take a little bit of the cilantro here that we chopped up very nicely and just sprinkle it on down there. And there you have it, our grilled shrimp.
Here you go, Master Chief. It's your Halo Halo dessert.
I don't know what you mean, Master Chefs. Thank you. Where'd you get this from, 2525?
Page 109. You're welcome.
Well, once again, I would like to give a thank you to Chef Kyle at Beer Exchange and Shorty Bell's Pizzeria, and thank you to Ms. Whitney of Monster Mash Creations.
We're going to take a quick break here, but more Comics, Beer, and Sci-Fi coming right up.
If you're looking for a fun place with great food, lots of arcade games, and a huge beer selection, then look no further than the Grand River Ballroom. It's in the basement of Shorty Bell's and the Detroit Beer Exchange. Oh yeah, this is where all the superheroes and villains come to hang out. Hi, heroines. Can I play next?
Back away.
Okay. Pick up for Richie. All right.
Wow, these smell good.
Guess she was hungrier than me. Hey, ladies, you got room for one more?
No. Get out of here. Scat.
Oh, thank you. No problem. Hey, buddy. Got your usual?
Thanks. Put it on his tab.
Here's your pizza, pal. And a cold beer.
Now that's what I'm talking about. So come on down to the Grand River Ballroom, where excitement awaits.
One of the other new things that I'm looking forward to this season is we are going to be spotlighting comic book artists.
And in today's episode, our very own Joe Johnson interviewed Bob Kemp.
And did you know that he's actually the co-creator of Ren and Stimpy?
I did. And did you know that he worked for Marvel Comics and that he worked on the old Thundercats cartoon? Never mind.
Bob, Ren and Stimpy is arguably my favorite cartoon of all time.
I was hanging around with some guys, John Kay and Jim Smith and Ben Naylor, and we were trying to get a show made, a cartoon show. And we were contacted by a producer, Vanessa Coffey, who had convinced Nickelodeon they needed to do cartoons and that they should let creatives come up with their shows instead of just making them based on toys or anything like that. And they really wanted to build a Nickelodeon brand of cartoons created by the people who make them, which is unusual really in the animation world, because usually it's based on a toy or there's some kind of licensing, something like that. They made a pilot, they showed it on the Spike and Mike's Twisted Animation Film Festival, and to great acclaim. So they let us do a series, and that was how we got started.
Some of this stuff was pretty out there, pretty outrageous. Did you get any flack from Nickelodeon or anything like that, or did you just have...
Well, you know what? I mean, it depends on who you ask. For sure, there were things that we had to fight for, but I think that's normal, especially if you're doing edgy content. And we were doing pretty edgy content on a children's network. So, we weren't skirting the edge. We were like skydiving off the edge. And Nickelodeon had to deal with us, which wasn't always easy. And we had to deal with them, which wasn't always easy. So it's like we had to kind of find a balance.
Obviously, Ren and Stimpy led to other opportunities. I read you worked on SpongeBob and things like that. What did Ren and Stimpy mean to you in your career moving forward?
It meant a lot. And actually, I work on the Patrick Star Show, which is a SpongeBob spinoff. I'm a storyboard supervisor there. Great job. I love it. Yeah, and SpongeBob was very clearly inspired by Ren and Stimpy. In fact, they were developing that just as we were finishing up, and we sort of felt like it was Ren and Stimpy light. So now there's SpongeBob and the Patrick Star Show, which I'm working on, and there have 4 features in different stages of production right now.
Wow. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Another co-host that will be joining us this season is Taiwan. And you may have seen him in the comic books with Able Ideas or in previous episodes with Comics, Beer, and Sci-Fi. We're excited to have you.
I'm super excited to be here, Gio. I've watched the show before. You interview a lot of cool creators.
Hey, it's the Bradcast, and I'm here with Mike Ingold. Can you tell me about some of your work here?
Well, the one I have is the R2-D2. I belong to a group that builds droids, and these are a couple of the guys, they're droids themselves. We got a BB-8 and an R4. There's a Gronk droid and Darth Vader. I don't know what the number is, but it'd be Darth Vader's droid. We're affiliated with Michigan Droid Builders, which is affiliated with Great Lakes Garrison and the 501st. And everything is built to specs through Lucasfilms and Disney. This is my first big con, so I'm happy to be here.
Is he a kit, or do you fabricate everything from there?
When we go on the website, okay, we buy parts off of individual builders. Okay, so when you build, you can only buy parts off of there. You can find some stuff on different parts of the internet, but you stay away from it because they're not specs. Like I said, calipers right down to the micron of what screws we use. The difference is the electronics on the inside. There's several different ways to do it. My droid is 100% aluminum. Some other guys, like the one behind you here, is wood frame, plastic skins, aluminum dome. Makes a big difference on the weight of the droid and how much money you want to put into it.
Now I saw you were controlling him, or strolling him, I believe is how they refer to that. So there's all that mechanism in there that also comes from the same system?
Yeah, you have several different ways to control it. Some guys use a simple PS4. I use a remote control for remote control airplanes.
I know you said this is the only one you have here. Have you built more than just the R2-D2?
Right now I am in the middle of making what's called a static droid. I'm making a C-3PO. I am also making a BB-8 and a BB-9E.
Hey, how the heck are you? Your old buddy Jack here, just saying hello at Comic-Con for comics, beer, and sci-fi.
Hey geeks, so I just bumped into the cutest, coolest, most bad cosplayer I think I've seen in a while. Hi Courtney, so tell me about your costume today.
Well, I'm Barbalorian, and I come from Mandalore, but like the cute version.
Very cute. So what inspired you to bring the girliness to it?
Well, I love Margot Robbie, and I know she is Barbie coming up, so I wanted to combine two of my loves, and here I am.
I love it. It's like Barbie Boba.
Yeah.
Very cute. I love when I see cosplayers, especially girls, take a costume and put their own spin on it, especially a guy costume, and you totally took it and put a Barbie spin on it. Good job. Keep creating. Thank you. Keep creating, cosplayers. I got my eyes on you.
Taking a quick break from all this cool stuff so that we can give a shout out to our sponsors. We'll be right back with Comics, Beer, and Sci-Fi.
Printing your comic book should be an easy and exciting experience. You shouldn't have to break the bank or wait too long to get your prints in your hands or to your fans. At Comics Wellspring, we specialize in printing high-quality comic books and graphic novels at an affordable price right here in the USA. Our quality-controlled environment and super helpful customer service ensure we deliver the perfect prints on time and an excellent experience every time. These are good? So bring your fantastic stories to life and print your comic books with Comics Wellspring.
Stop what you're doing and come check out how we do things here at Able Ideas Comic Book Production Company. That we got your attention. Now go to our YouTube channel to subscribe and follow us on social media. Stay tuned for our uncensored DVD coming soon. And for more information, follow us at ableideas.com where your ideas come to life.
Time to put the motor at Motor City Comic Con with the Hollywood car segment.
That's right, Jill. And we interviewed the creator of a replica of Ecto-1 from Ghostbusters 2016.
This is Richie Rollins from Comics, Beer, and Sci-Fi at the Motor City Comic Con, and I'm here with Ghostbuster Eric. How are you doing today, sir?
Good. How are you doing?
Pretty good. And we're here to talk about the Ghostbusters car. Now, which Ghostbuster movie is this from?
This car is based off of the 2016 movie by Paul Feig, Ghostbusters Answer the Call.
All right. And is this the proper year of the car that's supposed to be? How close to movie accurate is this car?
The car physically looks identical. This car is all original. The car was actually multiple years. It was an 84 and an 83. This is actually an 84. I was on there searching for a hearse, you know, looking at hearses, hoping I'd find the 59mm Meteor. No, 84 Cadillac. Wait a minute, looks just like the car from the 2016 movie. I'm like, I got to get that car. It's a little different. It's not identical. Like I still have the pool ladder that I haven't put on the side yet because I know that people will climb it. So I'm like,
How long did it take you to put it together?
It's not together yet, so never had years of like collecting stuff and planning, you know. It's been in New York in front of the firehouse. Once I did the conversion, it was at the firehouse.
Well, thanks for the interview, Eric. This is Richie Rollins, Comics, Beer, and Sci-Fi.
You know, since last season, Bradcast has been out interviewing anime voice actors. So we'll have a bunch of those interviews for you this season.
And we're going to start things off with Yuri Lowenthal, who could most recently be heard as the voice of Peter Parker in the new Spider-Man 2 video game.
Cool.
Guess who I'm talking to? Yuri Lowenthal. This guy has done so many voices, I almost can't keep track, but I've heard almost all of them. Yuri, how are you?
I'm doing good, Brad. Thank you so much. I'm impressed that you've heard almost all of them. That's a big deal.
I watch a lot of cartoons. I mean, a lot.
You and me both. You and me both.
What job do you look forward to most going to do?
Oh man, I will say, and I think that question is only hard because we love what we do, and it's hard to choose, a favorite. If I had to choose one right now, it would be the guy on my shirt, Spider-Man. The writing for, and the storytelling in the new recent, games, is so good that, it's an actor's dream always to work on a project that has really, really good writing, because it makes our job very, very, very easy. Insomniac Spider-Man and the stories they've been telling have just been top notch.
I remember Ben 10 from when I was actually younger.
Yeah.
How long did you do that?
I did that for 7 years, I think, which is a long time for anybody to play, the same role. Even though the show itself went under, several changes, during that time. I agree with you. I think the storytelling, especially starting with when I came in at Alien Force and Ultimate Alien, the storytelling was great. I know they sort of aged up Ben in that section, but the storytelling also it seemed like it became very adult in a good way.
Do you notice that anime is actually, aside from presented in a book differently as manga, do you find that the writing is different, or the storylines are just a little different? Does it challenge you in any way?
Absolutely. I mean, one of the things that drew me to anime and manga when I was a kid were the fact that they were telling stories that were not dumbed down for kids.
Yuri, thank you very much. I appreciate all your time. This has been the Bradcast. We'll see you next time.
Did you know Motor City Comic Con was built around comic book collecting?
I did, and comic book dealers are the heart and soul of any comic book convention.
We talked to a few. We're going to take a look.
Tell me, what are the key books people are looking for?
Well, everyone seems to be buying Star Wars today this weekend for some reason. The 3 Star Wars what?
The 77.
77 issue. So.
Not the Dark Horse.
No, I've had a lot of requests, but I don't have that inventory with me.
Now it's into a lot of the 90s franchises. So, we're seeing tons of action with, like, believe it or not, Darkwing Duck, Captain Planet, like Power Ranger high-grade comics. Like, a lot of the 90s stuff is really just blowing up.
A lot of requests for good girl art, a lot of Golden Age Archie. Everybody loves the bikini covers. Getting a lot of requests for pre-code horror, sci-fi stuff from the 50s, and certainly a lot of high-grade Silver Age bronze, Marvel and DC.
We sold a lot of X-Men this weekend. X-Men is the big hit.
Any particular issue people are looking for?
Looking for 266, or looking for the 94s, or looking for all the good books.
Well, that does it for episode 1 of season 5. I can't believe we've been together this long.
I know, you're the most successful relationship I've ever had with a woman.
That's probably because I see you 30 minutes once a week.
Next week, Astronomicon.